Hello and welcome. Technology, transparency, and partnership. 3 words that continue to define the future of Nigeria's maritime sector. On this week's edition of The Shipper, we spotlight 2 strategic engagements by Nigerian Shippers Council, one with the management of Lekki Deep Sea Port and the other with the Independent Corrupt Practices and Order-Related Offences Commission, Icpc. Both meetings underscore the Council's dedication to port rejuvenation and ethical operations. We will also take you to the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy, where Minister Adeboyega Oyetola shares details of the newly approved National Marine and Blue Economy Policy, designed to unlock the full value of Nigeria's ocean and inland water resources. And of course, our Tidbit segment with Idowu Ogungbemi, delivering top stories from the global maritime space, will also feature. We'll be right back after this short break.
For more than 5 decades, we have empowered and protected the interests of shippers in the nation's maritime industry. Our focus is to facilitate trade, regulate tariffs and rates, as well as handle shippers' complaints on cargo losses, damage and non-delivery. We offer dispute resolution mechanism for shipping and trade disputes between shippers and service providers. We are Nigerian Shippers Council, Nigeria's port economic regulator, your gateway to a thriving maritime sector. Nigerian Shippers Council will meet you at the port of your need.
Welcome back to The Shipper, Nigeria's flagship maritime program, proudly brought to you by Nigerian Shippers Council, the nation's port economic regulator. I am Abike Idowu. This week, we begin with highlights from a high-level meeting between Nigerian Shippers Council and the management of Lekki Deep Sea Ports. The visit provided a platform to address operational issues, tariffs, and ways to boost port competitiveness through innovation and service delivery. The conversation then shifts to the Council's renewed collaboration with Icpc in the fight against corruption at the ports, another bold step in building a globally respected maritime industry. Let's now join Lucy Yambi as she presents the report as compiled by the Shippers correspondents.
As Nigeria continues to position itself as a regional maritime hub, strategic collaboration between regulators and port operators has become increasingly vital. Recognizing this, Nigerian Shippers Council recently engaged in high-level discussions with the management team of Lekki Deep Sea Port, one of the country's most ambitious maritime infrastructure investments. The meeting, held at the Council's headquarters, focused on aligning regulatory support with the port's operational goals and investment needs. The Executive Secretary and CEO of the Nigerian Shippers Council, Dr. Akuta Pius, MON, emphasized the importance of innovation in enhancing the port's competitiveness and ensuring it meets global standards.
We do not want to look at tariff as a means of expanding our profit margins, because tariff alone will not increase our profit margins to break even. It is a turnover on our investment that will make you break even and make profit at the end of the day. Elsewhere, when the economy gets to a point where we are now, it is important to even drop some charges, some costs, to be able to stimulate the economy to wake up again. If we allow things to just drift anyhow, at the end of the day, the whole thing will collapse in our faces, and it's not going to be good for us. But it's better for us to manage things the way they are work together as a team, ensure that what we get at the end of the day is good for everybody, for the country, for the investments that you have put forward. We don't want our businesses to be leaving to other neighboring countries because of lack of competition on our part. We want our ports to be very competitive in terms of pricing, in terms of technology acquisition, modernization of our port facilities and all that.
Managing Director of Lekki Port, Mr. Wang Kiang, described the project as a model public-private partnership that requires strong investor confidence and strategic collaboration to remain viable.
The market for Nigeria is not that big, so I think it's totally about 2.2 million per TU, just like for totally Nigeria, or maybe 2.2 to 2.5. But so only Lekki Port, so we can up to the 1.2 million per TU per year. But so that means, so even we do a full in Nigeria's market, so we can attract maybe more from Apapa and Tinkan. But this market is not that big right now. So that means, so we have to compete from the other countries in the West Africa.
Definitely.
So that means maybe we can, everybody, just like from the government agencies, we also to make our charges is competitive with the other countries in the West Africa.
On her part, the Council's Director of Regulatory Services, Margaret Ogbonna, urged Lekki Port to lead by example by leveraging its modern terminal to drive regional competition.
Those terminals that are not investing may not share the same tariff with the ones that are investing, to encourage them to invest and compete efficiently and effectively. So that's how it is. We are not depriving anybody, but it has to be justified and it has to be a cost that the citizens are willing to bear. And the investor will make your return on your own investment. So those are the areas we are looking at, and we look into books now, unlike before when we don't, to be sure that those investments are really there, made by the terminals, so that we can credit to what really belongs to you, and not using one terminal that is investing as a leverage for all the other terminals to be charging the same rates. It's not going to be like that. So we wouldn't be entertaining that this terminal is charging this terminal specific now, what you have invested and the type of operations going on in your terminal.
Director, Consumer Affairs Department, Celestine Akujobi, added that marketing efforts and business engagement must be intensified to help position Lekki Port as a port of choice for shippers across the region.
When you market your port, discover that definitely you are going to attract more customers to your port. And when that happens, just like the ES mentioned, turnover will give you that needed profit, that margin that you want.
Also speaking, Executive Director at Lekki Port, Mrs. Adesuwa Ladoja, reaffirmed the port's focus on transshipment, export growth, and its alignment with the Renewed Hope agenda.
So this is just the final pillar that we need now. I believe that if we work, strongly together, we will find a win-win, a good balance between what all of us are trying to achieve, so we can then go forward and just, exceed all your expectations.
Meanwhile, in a move that underscores the Council's commitment to integrity, the Executive Secretary welcomed a delegation from the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission (ICPC) Lagos office, led by the new Resident Commissioner, Alexander Chukura. During the meeting, Dr. Akuta applauded the partnership between the two agencies and reaffirmed the Council's zero-tolerance stance on corruption at the ports.
I myself have been here for a year plus now. I met on the ground a very robust relationship between the Shippers Council and ICPC here in Lagos State. Apart from the Act 2 unit that has been set up and is working very well, we also have this post-standing tax committee, which we are working together with ICPC and other agencies of government. Permit me to say that relationship has been very fruitful, that yielded fruitful results. in terms of reducing the corruption index in Nigerian ports. Recently also we wanted to reconstitute the team, and we have written to the chairman of the Icpc as well as the other agencies to nominate new personnel that we reconstituted into that committee. So your coming here is timely, it's very apt, and it's an extension of the hand of fellowship for us to work together for the purpose of progress of this country. So I'm particularly delighted that you have chosen to pay us this courtesy.
The resident commissioner, Alexander Chukura, called for strengthened cooperation, expressing Icpc's readiness to work more closely with the council to promote ethics and accountability in the maritime sector.
The Icpc sits on a tripod. I mean, we have tripartite mandate. That of enforcement that have qualified to mean lawful enforcement, because not all enforcements are lawful. In Icpc, what we do is lawful enforcement. And when we talk about lawful enforcement, we're talking about investigation and prosecution. And then we have the preventive mandate where we study systems and procedures, the processes of MDAs, with a view to blocking loopholes, giving advice from time to time, defining the route that MDAs should follow, but if need be, can revert to prosecution. The third mandate being that of public enlightenment and education, where we go to enlist and galvanize support from the citizenry. This last mandate has become more compelling because of the apathy and the indifference on the side of the citizenry in the anti-graft crusade.
Members of the Council's Anti-Corruption and Transparency Unit, ACTU, echoed the importance of sustained internal reforms that support the country's global image and anti-corruption drive.
We have been disseminating this information and sensitizing our staff and our stakeholders we should shun corruption, because corruption always kills.
We've done quite a number of sensitizations, cutting across stakeholders in the industry. Also, engaging students, trying to catch them young. Last year we had a collaboration with our youth corps members, whereby we had selection of some schools within the Apapa local government to mark the regional anti-corruption day precisely on 11 July last year, to engage them in an inter-school debate bordering on corruption and the ills of corruption.
Anti-Corruption and Transparency Unit. It is an arm that is set up by the Icpc, specifically under Section 7.1 and Section 70 of the Icpc Act. This unit becomes necessary because it's difficult for Icpc to go around all agencies at the same time and monitor activities. So they established this special unit in all MDAs so that they will be like a liaison office that will interface between Icpc and the agencies.
These conversations underscore the Nigerian Shippers Council's holistic approach to regulation, promoting efficiency, attracting investment, and upholding the highest ethical standards across the port ecosystem. As the maritime sector evolves, such collaborations remain essential to securing Nigeria's place on the global shipping map.
From partnerships that promise innovation to collaborations that strengthen accountability, Nigerian Shippers Council remains at the forefront of shaping a maritime sector that works for all. Let's now get some insights from the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy. In a historic milestone for Nigeria's maritime future, the Federal Executive Council has approved the country's first ever National Marine and Blue Economy policy. The announcement was made by the Honorable Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Adegboyega Oyetola, CON, who described the policy as a game-changer for sustainable development. According to the minister, the newly approved document is a strategic 10-year roadmap that will guide the management and expansion of Nigeria's marine and coastal resources, including its 853-kilometer coastline and vast inland waterways. He emphasized that the policy will transform underutilized assets into drivers of economic diversification, create jobs, and engender climate resilience. The minister also noted that the policy aligns with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's renewed hope agenda as it emphasizes economic expansion, ecological sustainability, and social inclusion. The minister assured that the ministry is fully prepared to lead its implementation transparently, while encouraging local and international investors to participate through public-private partnerships. This isn't just a policy document, it is a bold declaration of intent, Oyetola declared. The ocean is not just a boundary, it is our future. And that's it from the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy for now. Let's now head over to our tidbit segment where Idowu Ogunbemi will give you the rod and tackle for this week's latest in the local and international maritime scenes.
Hello and welcome to the tidbit segment on the shipper. I am Idowu Ogunbemi and I'll be your guide as we navigate the latest trends, key updates and interesting stories shaping the maritime industry. Nigerian Shippers Council has inaugurated a new set of special marshals drawn from its staff in a ceremony held at the NSE headquarters in Lagos. The initiative, carried out in collaboration with the Federal Road Safety Corps, is aimed at enhancing safety, compliance and integrity both on the roads and within the ports. The Executive Secretary and CEO of the NSE, Dr. Akuta Pius Emohen, represented by Mr. Rotimi Anifowoshe, Director of Strategic Planning and Research, highlighted in his address that the selected staff members would serve as models of order and integrity. He emphasized their new mandate to uphold safety and organizational compliance.
Today, in the Council, we are adding members to a vital force that is dedicated to discipline, vigilance, and service. These special corps martial officers will serve as beacon of order and integrity, reinforcing the standards that define who we are and what we stand for in Nigerian Shippers Council. We are gathered here to welcome a team that will carry out a special mandate, which is to ensure safety, compliance, and the protection of our organizational values. Their presence is a testament to our proactive commitment to excellence in operations and our zero-tolerance stance on indiscipline.
The Lagos State FIRSC Sector Commander, Kainde Amsat, commended the NSE for its collaboration, urging the new team to embody discipline and commitment in their roles.
To the newly inaugurated Special Marshal, I implore you to embrace the weight of this responsibility with integrity, diligence, and compassion. Your presence on the road will serve as a beacon of hope and assurance to all drivers and pedestrians alike. It is essential to understand that road safety is a shared responsibility. We must work collectively with government agencies, non-governmental organizations, and the general public to cultivate an environment where safety prevails. As you embark on this journey, remember that your effort will not go unnoticed. Together, let us break the cycle of negligence that has plagued our roads for too long.
Pastor Olusegun Akiton, the state coordinator of the Special Marshals and Deputy Director, Mr. James Atilola, who represented Alhaji Mustafa Subairu, Director of Inland Transport Services, also spoke at the event.
The Special Marshals, as an arm of the FRSC, is a vital component of this effort, and we can say that our contributions are making a meaningful impact. The role of Special Marshals. Special Marshals plays a crucial role in promoting road safety awareness, monitoring road users' behavior, and providing support for FRSC officials. We are inspiring and enforcing others to adopt safe driving practice and respect traffic laws. Now, what do we expect from our new entrants? Expectations. We expect our inaugural Special Marshals, among other things: 1, to uphold the values of FRSC. 2, promote road safety awareness in their communities. 3, collaborate with FRSC personnel to enhance road safety. And 4, serve as role models for safe driving practices.
The Nigerian Shippers Council has been collaborating with the Federal Road Safety Corps to ensure the safety of cargoes in transit under the Road Transport Safety Standardization Scheme. The collaboration led to the development of an MOU, that is, Memorandum of Understanding, which was signed in November 2018 to serve as a work plan to guide the two organizations
in the successful implementation of specific areas of collaboration, which include setting of standards, generation of database, public education and enlightenment, training, vehicle transit area implementation, ensuring smooth operations of the inland dry ports, and cost sharing and other collaboration. In line with the terms of the Memorandum of Understanding between Nigerian Shippers Council, which stipulates that, and I quote, FRSC shall train NSC staff on traffic and safety management annually. The Council conducted the first phase of the Special Marshal mandatory training exercise for members of staff who indicated interest in 2019. The induction of 46 members of staff as Special Marshal led to the creation of a Special Marshal unit in the Council under Apapa command with the unit number 134.
We encourage you to follow our social media pages at NG Shippers on Facebook, Instagram, X and YouTube for more of our latest updates, events and information. Let's take a look at our complaint register for the week. Nigerian Shippers Council has received 3 complaints. While 2 of these complaints have been resolved, 1 is still ongoing investigation. The complaints include issues with conspiracy and forgery, container detention and refund stoppage. We encourage our stakeholders to visit our website at www.shipperscouncil.gov.ng for more information or to lodge their concerns. Now, let's switch our focus to the international maritime news. South Korea's Ministry of Oceans and Fisheries, MOF, has unveiled that a green shipping corridor across the Pacific Ocean linking the United States and South Korea is set to be established by 2027, according to MOF. The South Korea-US Green Shipping Corridor Construction Implementation Roadmap outlines steps towards achieving net zero shipping by 2050, building on South Korea's existing energy transition framework. It is understood that within the scope of this initiative, the South Korean and the US plan to implement a supply base as well as the necessary infrastructure for the broader utilization of alternative marine fuels such as ammonia and green methanol. In other news, Cameroon received the world's largest container ship at the port of Kribi. The 400-meter-long Mega Max vessel, chartered by global shipping leader Mediterranean Shipping Company, MSC, arrived at the port's newly developed infrastructure recently. This achievement represents a major technical milestone and solidifies Kribi's emergence as a key deep-sea port capable of accommodating the world's largest cargo vessels. More than just a docking operation, it symbolizes the rise of the port of Kribi as a central gateway for maritime trade in Cameroon and the broader Central African sub-region. And that concludes this week's edition of Tidbit on the Shipper. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you again next week with more insights from the maritime world.
For more than 5 decades, we have empowered and protected the interests of shippers in the nation's maritime industry. Our focus is to facilitate trade, regulate tariffs and rates, as well as handle shippers' complaints on cargo losses, damage and non-delivery. We offer dispute resolution mechanism for shipping and trade disputes between shippers and service providers. We are Nigerian Shippers Council, Nigeria's port economic regulator, your gateway to a thriving maritime sector. Nigerian Shippers Council will meet you at the port of your need.
And that's how we anchor this week's edition of The Shipper. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the latest strides in Nigeria's maritime space. Don't forget to follow us on our social media platforms at NG Shippers for more updates and exclusive behind-the-scenes content. Until next time, here's wishing you smooth sailings and a swimmingly great productive week ahead. Goodbye.